Oh, songwriting, songwriting, songwriting. What are we to do? Trying to get back on the weekly songwriting. Did 2 weeks in a row. It's Wednesday already and I don't have a song. This is so hard. But it's good. It's good. It's what I need to be doing. It's good. I notice the more I do things, the more I'm focusing on songwriting, the more song ideas I get, the more lyrics I get. So it's good to be in that grind. It's tough though. I spent a good amount of time this morning going through like old voice recordings, see if I had anything worthwhile in there. There's some cool stuff, but I don't know if it's like developed enough. I don't know. All right, we've gotten a lot of things done so far today, so now it's a little time for an S&S break, a Snacks and Stranger Things break. I'm working outside today. It's so beautiful. This is I would call it my, I don't know, snack before lunch, second breakfast. I don't even know. Well, are you singing? You singing, buddy? Are you singing? Sing for me. Can you sing? Sing. Hello, boys. How are you? Hi, Nico. Hey, Rocco. Alright, so being fully honest, right now, I feel a bit overwhelmed in the sense that I feel like I have so many things to do that I don't want to do, if that makes sense. And then the problem with that is I procrastinate because I don't want to do them. And then I end up getting like nothing done. Like all I want to do right now is just watch Stranger Things and just sit on the couch with a ice cold glass of seltzer and just chill. Like I don't want to do anything because I feel the pressure of things that I have to do, which then makes me want to do nothing. For example, like I have to edit this wedding footage, which I don't hate the idea of it. It's just I don't want to do it right now. But I gave myself a deadline. I told them, and I gave the clients a deadline. I was like, hey, I'll have something for you by Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, so I have to do something. But it's like I want to do all these other things, so I don't want to do that right now. I just need to force myself to do certain things. I also feel the pressure of the fact that it's Wednesday and I haven't written a song for this week yet. And I'm like, oh, I got to do that too. And then I'm also, to be honest, I'm like a little frustrated in the sense of like, and this is why you need to love what you do, because it can get hard putting out constant content when sometimes it feels like it's not being received in the way you would hope it would be. And that's why you have to, like, to some degree, get rid of any sort of expectation for how you expect the content to go. And the benefit of me talking about this is it's reminding me of all this stuff. You shouldn't do what you do for the view count. You shouldn't do what you do for the numbers. You should do what you do because you love it. Because right now I feel like I'm putting so much work into things, like constantly filming and editing videos for them not to get a ton of views, and it's frustrating. And it's like, because then you start to compare to other artists and other people. You see a video that's kind of similar to yours, better or worse or equal, and you're like, why does it have so many views compared to mine? And you start to go down this path, and it can get really frustrating as an artist. And that's why I'm reminding myself right now, you don't do it for the views, you do it because you love it. And even if it just touches one person, that's enough. So if it gets 16 likes, that means it hit 16 people, you know, like, and that's a good perspective to keep. And honestly, to some degree, I was thinking about writing a song out of that place of the sense of, maybe that's what the chorus will be, honestly, about, like, you know, keeping the perspective, like, if it just touches one person. This whole place of being frustrated and being pulled into different directions of, like, I feel pressure to do what I want to do to make progress, but also I have to pay bills, but also, like, people aren't watching, but also, you know, it's like in this whole spin of pulled in 7,000 directions, and I kind of want to write a song out of that, but I don't want to, I'm being crazy. I don't want to stay at home. I've been home, like, all week, just sitting at my computer. So I'm like, you know what? I want to write a song, but I want to feel the song. I want to play. I want to play the piano. I want to play my acoustic. I don't have either of those. I sold my piano years ago because it just was way too big and it was kind of broken. It was a keyboard, like, not a real piano. And then my acoustic obviously has been stolen. So, like, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a drive. I'm gonna go to Guitar Center. I'm gonna play the keyboard, but like see the one, because there are a couple that I'm looking at potentially buying down the road, and use those keys to try to write a song. I'll try to time myself maybe 15 minutes on the pianos, 15 minutes on the guitars, see if I can write something while I'm there. One, it'll be a change of scenery, a change of pace. It'll be a little bit more fun. It'll be good content, honestly. And I realize, like, how insane is it that I feel pressured and don't want to write a song when, like, here it is a Wednesday, like, I'm not on a 9 to 5. I'm pressured to write like, feeling like, oh, I gotta go write a song, and here I am, have the ability to go to the beach if I wanted to and write a song at the beach. And I'm, you know, like, it's a blessing, and our blessings can turn into burdens if we don't have the right balanced perspective. I'm gonna keep the BBB. Blessings can turn into burdens when we don't keep balanced perspective. And the perspective is, I'm really blessed that I get the opportunity to do all this stuff. You know, if I have to edit a video for a client to help pay some bills, like, I'm really blessed. And I chose to say yes to that. I didn't have to, but you know what? Blessings become burdens when you don't balance perspective, and I need to recalibrate and balance my perspective. So thank you for letting me share. Today is also a really good lesson as to why you cannot let people's applause influence your decision making as much as you cannot let their boos and criticism influence your decision making. Because people have been saying, I've been reading the comment section, like, wow, you're making such great progress as an artist. Oh my gosh, you're on fire, you're on a roll. And it creates this pressure to write another phenomenal song. And it's like, well, I have an idea of a song, and then I'm like, oh, it's not as good as the last one or the one before that. And it's like, then you start scrapping ideas, what they actually could be, and who's to say what's a good song and what's not a good song? Like, you can't listen to anybody's perspective on that, and then you just have to be kind of focused on what you believe is right, and then forget it. Write a bad song, put out a bad song, who cares? It's not going to kill your momentum. But you just need to keep honest perspective. That is, like, you can't listen to their applause because it's going to skew your decision making and put pressure on you that's not necessary. And you can't listen to their criticism just as much. You got to be confident in who you are. People think of art as such a finite decision where it's like, I finish a song, I release it, boom, that's the final version of it ever. And, like, the truth is, if you break that perspective, it's so freeing because you can realize the fact that, hey, I can finish a song, write it, release it, put it out there, and then if I want to, I could steal a verse from that song and put it in a different song, or I could rewrite the second line and re-release it, or I could a year later remix it and totally do it totally different. Like, or when I play it live, it could be different than when I play it in the recording. Like, if you don't marry to an idea, it adds so much freedom and takes off so much pressure to get the right song to sound perfect. You can just put it out there as is, and if you want to later modify it, which 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to be happy with how it is after you release it, you can modify it. And you know, there's been some really popular songs that ended up being like the second version or third version of the song. Like, I'm talking, you know, the song "Take It Back" or "Take It All Back." You know, I think that's what it's called, by Judah and the Lion. And I think is this something like, and I take it all back, take it all back, take it back, just to have you. Right? You know that song. That's the popular version. Is the 2.0 version. How about Mike Posner's "I Took a Pill in Ibiza"? That's the remixed version that was famous, not his original, because his original is very acoustic and very different. So put a song out there as is, and then if you decide to later, you can remix it. It's okay. It's all good. You can change it. Don't marry to it and you'll be free. Alrighty, let's head inside. Alright, so this is the verdict. I just spent about an hour and 15 minutes inside a Guitar Center. And I had a lot of good ideas, like 4-liners that sounded cool, but then I didn't know where to take them, man. It's like, it's frustrating. That's the beauty of art. It's the beauty and frustration of art. Is like, the reason art is so beautiful and amazing is that it's so hard to get there. You have to put in hours, you know, some hours and hours for, it's like, what do they call an overnight success that took 10 years to build, you know? And that's kind of what it is. It's like, some of the best songs you write in 5 minutes, but it's because you spent, 2 weeks of 2-hour sessions a day trying to write and nothing comes out, and so that's where I was today. Although I did play some really, really nice guitars that I didn't end up filming, but it felt really good. One looked really similar to the one that my friend Dom let me borrow, so it felt so good. But I don't want to buy a guitar right now, man. Like, I don't know what to do. So I just had a really interesting conversation with somebody. I stopped by somebody's house to check out a guitar, a friend of mine. It seemed like it was the same guitar that I was playing at Guitar Center. I wanted to see, because I really liked the one that was at Guitar Center, and he was trying to convince me to buy the guitar, and here I am being like, dude, I was like, it's $2,200. Like, I can't, I don't want to spend $2,000 right now. And he was making a joke. He's like, oh yeah, I know, but like $2,000 right now is like $50 a week ago. And I was like, honestly, it's wildly true. And then I was thinking, I was like, shoot, you're right. Like, it's wild how perspective shifts things, in the sense that, like, I recently went out to dinner. It was recently 2 people's birthdays, and Jamie and I went out to dinner with them separately. And between both meals, Jamie and I ended up paying for them because it was the people's birthday. It was like $350, $400. Dude, the sun is driving me crazy. Like, it's so bright. So it's just crazy because, like, here I am being like, I can't spend $2,000 on a guitar, but then we paid for the people's dinners and it's $400, and that's 20% of the guitar right there. And it's like, wait, why is that okay? And like, we can justify that in our head. Now, granted, it was technically 8 people's dinners, but still, like, we could justify that. But then a guitar that I'll use all the time, it's like, I don't know, 2,000. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. I'm not saying I'm gonna go buy it, but it's just it made me realize, like, wow, that's a really interesting comparison. Well, shucks, this came out better looking than I expected, man. This looks pretty good, man. Homemade tacos, baby.